Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Michigan State students back in class 1 week after the shooting that killed 3 students and sent 5 others to the hospital. The university says coming back together is an important step in the healing process, but thousands of students were pushing the university to offer a virtual option, saying it's just too soon to return. Rod Maloney is live in East Lansing for us this noon. Rod, what's the feeling you're getting there today?
Well, it's kind of a tale of 2 sections of the campus here, Jason. We're right here out in front of the Union, and you can see that normal campus life is starting to resume. And then if you move to our camera left here, you can see a massive crowd here. You've got a young woman here who is drawing on the sidewalk. They've provided sidewalk chalk. There are moms who have been out here with dogs, and moms giving hugs and free food. And you're seeing hundreds upon hundreds of students gathering here, picking up a few sundries and the like, and talking to each other and to the moms. And it's a real collegial atmosphere here. Very happy here. We were over at the Sparty statue a little while ago. That has become more of a memorial and much more somber. And so we're seeing a kind of an apprehension almost on some part of dipping their toes back into the college life. And yet we're finding that all of those that we spoke with today are feeling glad that they were here. They were nervous about it, but they're glad to be back. So let's hear from a couple of the students that we spoke with in the last hour or so to get their thoughts. Were you apprehensive at all?
I really was. You know, I never thought I'd be put in a situation where like an active shooter would be on campus. So I was kind of like, do I want to come back? But they made it really easy for us. They said we had online options. They're doing credit, no credit. And like my friends are up here, so I feel safe with them.
Want to focus on your studies, but also trying to take that time to like grieve and feel the feelings has been pretty difficult. But like I said, I wanted to come out here today and just kind of give myself space for that and see all the signs that everyone's left out.
Yeah, that Hannah, by the way, the veterinary student there, was over at the Sparty statue. She was choking up and in tears, as were most of the people over there. A lot more smiling faces over this way. But it looks like they're sort of getting back to life here. The signs that she mentioned, by the way, are everywhere. They're at the gate of the school. They go on for blocks as people putting signs that have continuing messages on them and the like. We see that one there, offering mom hugs and welcome back and the like. So the community has really come together here in many differing ways as a way to make it so that these students can try and get back to something that resembles normalcy. We'll certainly have more. We're going over to the Capitol now to go over and see the protest that they're having there. A lot of students saying that they think that they should skip class and go and see if they can get more gun laws passed. And so we'll be headed that way here, and we'll have more on that. So coming up at 4, 5, and again at 6 o'clock. So for now, Rod Maloney, live from MSU campus in East Lansing.
All right, Rod. Yeah, it almost seems like a welcome week with all those folks out there and the signs. Probably a lot what they needed right now. We appreciate it, Rod. The conditions are improving for some of the 5 students in the hospital. Within the last hour, we learned 1 student was upgraded to fair condition. 2 students remain in serious condition and 2 are in critical condition. Services begin today for Ariel Anderson, the Harper Woods 19-year-old who was killed in the shooting. A visitation begins in about 2 hours at the Cantrell Funeral Services on Kelly near 9 Mile in East Point. A funeral service is being held tomorrow morning at 11 at Zion Hope Baptist Church in Detroit. Over the weekend, funeral services were held for both Brian Frazier and Alex Verner. Right now, the group March for Our Lives is joining local lawmakers, education officials, and students in Lansing to rally for gun control legislation. Rod alluded to this a moment ago. They say something needs to change in the wake of the Michigan State shooting and the Oxford High School shooting. A former Oxford teacher whose brother survived the shooting talked a short time ago.
It is time to shame and to name those who are against our best, our children. I would do anything for my brother Keegan. I would do anything for my 154 students. I would do anything to bring back Tate, Hannah, Justin, Madison, Brian, Ariel, and Alex. But remorse is not enough. How will you vote And how will you use your voice?
A rally at the state capitol starts in about an hour. We will have complete coverage in our later newscasts from there. In other news this noon, eastbound M14 closed right now because an Amazon truck is on its side. You can see it there. Sky 4 with a bird's eye view of it at Sheldon in Plymouth Township. Police say the semi hit the overpass and rolled onto its side. It's causing huge backups in the area, so you should avoid that spot if you can. We don't know if anyone was hurt in this or how long it's going to take to clean up. President Joe Biden has left Ukraine after a surprise visit there to mark the one-year anniversary of Russia's invasion. It's unprecedented for an American president to travel to an active war zone without a large military presence. As Bree Jackson reports from Washington, it was a short but historic trip.
President Biden making a surprise trip to Ukraine and meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky in Kyiv as Russia's war against the country nears the one-year mark.
1 year later, Kyiv stands, and Ukraine stands. Democracy stands. The Americans stand with you.
The unprecedented visit was months in the making, with details kept very secure and air raid sirens sounding during the president's stay. The president stopping at the Wall of Remembrance to lay a wreath. Mr. Biden noting how much Ukraine has lost in the war and announcing more aid is on the way.
And air defense systems all defend Ukraine, and that doesn't count the other $500 million we're announcing with you today and tomorrow.
As the violence rages on, White House officials say they've determined Russia has committed war crimes.
We believe that this is a systematic, deliberate effort by the Kremlin.
The U.S. also warns that China may be considering providing lethal aid to Russia.
We make clear to the Chinese that there will be consequences should they make that unfortunate decision.
The Biden administration sending a strong message to other countries.
Remind us that freedom is priceless. It's worth fighting for as long as it takes, and that's how long we're going to be with you, Mr. President, for as long as it takes.
And pledging unwavering support for Ukraine. And while details of the president's trip were kept under tight wraps, the U.S. did tell the Kremlin about the trip hours before it began, but won't say what their response was. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
As former President Jimmy Carter remains in hospice, people are making their way to his place of birth and a place of worship. Carter was honored at a Baptist church in Plains, Georgia, where he's taught Sunday school ever since leaving the White House in 1981. Visitors are also stopping by the Carter Center in Atlanta to reflect on his legacy there.
I said to Neil, I said, oh my gosh, the hospice has started, and we didn't want to experience that in town. We want to celebrate the life.
According to a statement from the Carter Center, following several short hospital stays, the former president decided to spend his remaining time at home with his family. He chose to receive hospice care instead of additional medical intervention. All right, time to get a check of the forecast, and you are looking live at Mount Clemens, where city offices are closed in honor of President's Day. Meteorologist Ashley Barrissey gets no days off, especially with the potential weather system we're staring at on the forewarn this week.
That's right. And so really our eyes are already looking ahead to Wednesday, where we have a very impactful system heading our way. But for now, we're going to enjoy a little bit of sunshine out there at this noon hour. 42 degrees in Detroit, 40 in Ann Arbor, calm winds, which is a nice change of pace from yesterday. Howell 39 with a light northwesterly breeze, and 40 in Adrian. And it is paired with partly sunny skies across much of Metro Detroit. Exact Track 40 radar showing this clipper type of system that will brush the northern edge of lower Michigan for tonight. And as we head into early tomorrow morning, we might get a little wintry mix out of it, but it's going to be brief, and that's nothing compared to what we have in store for Wednesday. Today, partly sunny and cooler than yesterday, topping out at 43 degrees this afternoon, so only rising a couple degrees from where we sit right now, and that's 10 degrees cooler than where we were yesterday. But that temperature trend Hold on. We are on a roller coaster ride, so we are going to be dipping in the 30s the next couple days, getting back into the 40s, if not close to 50 on Thursday, before those temperatures take a nosedive back into the 20s. That impactful system that I'm talking about for Wednesday arrives Wednesday afternoon and evening. It's going to linger into the early part of Thursday, where ice accumulation is the biggest threat. We dealt with ice last week, and this one looks like it could be a bigger deal. We'll have more on that coming up.
Kids don't make plans, but Thursday could be a snow day. Just saying. Let's plant the seed now. We're back on the noon with the people living near a train derailment in Ohio who say they're experiencing health problems now after the release of toxic materials. What's being done to make sure they're okay? Plus, a big heads up for drivers. A major freeway ramp is now closed, and it will stay that way for months and months. Details after the break.